If you are already missing all of your teeth, or are soon to be missing your teeth, there are three major treatment options that are available to you. If you're thinking about these options and wanting to compare them, you can look at them as if they're on a spectrum. On one end, you have simple treatment. On the other end, you have complex treatment. Associated with simple treatment is usually lower cost, fewer criteria or requirements that have to be met. The more complex treatment, however, is usually more expensive, and there are more criteria and more hurdles that have to be crossed in order for the treatment to be successful. The denture is the first treatment option to consider. The denture is a removable device which you can put in and take out of your mouth at will. It has relatively simple construction and can be made for most people. The major advantage of the denture is that it is cheap to construct. We've also been making dentures for a long time, and we know how they behave and how things tend to turn out in the long run. The challenges with a denture are several. One is the bulk of the denture. If you've never worn a denture before, putting the denture in your mouth can feel as if we've just popped a large wad of plastic in there, which is actually in fact what we have done. And with that large wad of plastic, it becomes a challenge to speak, and it can also be a challenge to chew. The other challenge of the denture is the ability of it to move around. The fact that you can take it in and out means that the denture can just shift on its own. The upper denture usually isn't as bad because it has some degree of suction to the roof of your mouth, and the upper gum is generally quite tough. The lower denture, however, can be more of a struggle, as there is usually no suction, and the lower gum is a bit more fragile. The upper denture is going to rest on the roof of your mouth and also where the teeth used to be, so any force that you put on the upper denture is spread out over a reasonably large area. The lower denture, however, sits on a much smaller area between the tongue and the cheeks. Generally speaking, it's about half the surface area that the upper denture gets to rest on. So any chewing force that you generate when you're eating is much greater on the lower gum than is the upper gum. So you tend to feel the pressure more and any more sensitivity on the lower jaw more so than the upper. Dentures can also change the experience of eating food and drink. It can dramatically change things because the upper denture covers up the taste buds and sensation on the roof of your mouth. The overdenture is the second treatment option to consider. It is much like a regular denture in the sense that you can take it in and out of your mouth at will. The difference is that the overdenture relies on 2 to 6 implants placed in your jawbone. The implants have studs on them so that you can clip the overdenture onto these implants. It doesn't eliminate all movement and the denture still rests on your gum. However, you are not going to experience the overdenture moving and falling out when you least expect it to. There are limits as to how much grip the overdenture has on the implants. We can't make it grip so hard that there is no movement at all, because then you wouldn't be able to take it out of your mouth. So we have to compromise between the ease of removing it so that you can clean it with the security you wish to have so it doesn't fall or move unexpectedly. So the upsides are that you can take the overdenture out and clean it really well. You can also clean the implants really well. There is a downside, however, that there is still a small degree of movement and there is maintenance of the clips both on the implants and inside the denture. Generally speaking, the clips inside the denture are replaced somewhere between 6 to 18 months. This can vary though from person to person depending on how much you put the denture in and remove it. It also depends on what your tolerance is for movement in the denture. Some people don't mind a bit of movement and so they don't replace the clips as often, and other people want it to be as tight as possible all the time, so the clips have to be replaced very, very frequently. The third option to consider is the implant bridge. The implant bridge is a row of teeth, for want of a better description, and they're screwed down onto or secured to some implants that have been put in your jaw. The advantage of doing this is that the bridge doesn't move. It is extremely secure. It also doesn't apply any pressure to the gum, so if you have sensitive gum, you can be assured you're not going to get pinched by the bridge. It is also the slimmest version and method for replacing your teeth. Now, it's not to say that it's exactly the same size as your teeth, but it is much smaller than the regular denture or overdenture. The downside of an implant bridge are that you have to have enough bone to put the implants in to secure the bridge. Now, how many implants you need depends a lot on how many teeth you're going to replace, and there's going to be a longer conversation about that in a different video. There's also still some degree of maintenance, and that maintenance is usually daily maintenance of you cleaning the bridge and the gum and the implants. If you don't clean the bridge and the implants and the gum, you will experience prolonged food entrapment, potentially a bad taste, and maybe you'll get inflammation in the gum around the implants. If you get inflammation in the gum around the implants, then you may get inflammation in the bone around the implants. If that happens, there are some susceptible individuals which will then get bone loss around the implants. And you'll find that the implants literally come out and take the bridge with it. So you lose both the implants and the bridge. After considering the 3 treatment options, most people express a preference or interest in the implant bridge, and that's because they want something that is as close to their teeth as possible. We do, however, point out that all of these treatment options are not teeth. They are replacements for teeth. But the closest thing we've got at this point in time is the implant bridge. Now, every person is unique, and when you come in for the consultation, we will go through all of these options as they apply to your specific situation and help you find the best solution for you. Thank you for listening, and I'm looking forward to working with you.